Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I hope you all are having a fantastic day, and in today's video we are going to be taking a look back at Glenn's death in the Walking Dead original series and just talk about what that did to the Walking Dead and how it changed the trajectory of the franchise and just how it impacted fans and everything. We're just going to be talking about Glenn and Negan a lot in this video. So thank you guys so much for all the love and all the support. Please remember to drop a like and subscribe and comment and share. It really helps the channel grow so much more than you think, and it's totally free to do. Just drop a like. It really helps me so much. So thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Let's get into it, man. So Glenn's death was really brutal, man. It was really hard to watch. I remember being 16 years old and watching this and just thinking in my head like, wait, this just doesn't feel like real life. It was honestly really devastating and hard for me to watch. I remember just going into my bedroom and being like, wow, this is real, huh? This is crazy. Like, it just blew my mind that they would actually kill Glenn because I think at that point in time in The Walking Dead, right? Keeping Glenn alive would have been the better decision than killing him. 100%. I think if Glenn would have lived all the way to the end of The Walking Dead, the show would have been better. 100%. Glenn was kind of like that handyman Swiss Army knife character, kind of like the glue, right, of the characters in the show. Glenn held everything together, and he was such a just down to earth, genuine human being. And I think The Walking Dead really missed that in the later seasons for sure. You know, when you get into season 9 with Connie and Kelly and that new group with Magna and Yumiko and all that, truthfully, I didn't find that group interesting at all. I really didn't like those characters. The only character in that group that I honestly liked was Connie. I really disliked Magna. I really disliked Yumiko. I kind of started to like Yumiko slightly more in season 11, but my point of bringing them up is like having characters like Glenn during those times, it just would have been so much better to have less focus on those characters and more focus on someone like Glenn. You get what I mean? I think it just would have been so much better for The Walking Dead, man. You know, I understand the whole comic book, accuracy and wanting Glenn to be a Negan victim and Maggie's story and all that. I understand that. But truthfully, in my opinion, killing Glenn was really bad for the show. It honestly was. I think it was worse for the show than killing Carl, 100%. I think killing Glenn off was just such a bad decision. And I loved this character. I loved Glenn all the way through from season 1 all the way to season 7. Um, he honestly was just such a great character, and it really did change so much for The Walking Dead, right? Because bringing Negan in season 7, it was one of those things where a lot of people liked him, a lot of people hated him, but I heard from a lot of people that they stopped watching The Walking Dead because of the fact that Glenn died. And who's this new Negan guy, right? Like, they just didn't like him. Some people didn't like Negan that much, and I don't think it was necessarily that they just didn't like him as a character. I think it was like the fact that Glenn just died, and then there's all this focus on these other characters that they don't really like, and they're just like, man, screw this. This isn't the Walking Dead that I've grown to know and love, right? And that shift definitely happened. There was definitely a change in season 7 where we saw a lot more focus on the saviors and the kingdom and the hilltop even and stuff like that, and a lot less focus on Rick and the main group, right? With all the bottle episodes and stuff like that. If you guys remember season 7, you'll know what I'm talking about. There were so many bottle episodes and just like episodes focused on individual storylines, and it didn't work out very well for the fans. Fans did not love season 7 like they did all the other seasons. Now, in hindsight, going back and binge watching season 7 of The Walking Dead, I don't think it's nearly as bad as what I thought it was, right? When I just thought back, like, oh man, season 7 is one of the worst seasons. I went back and I binge watched it, and honestly, it's not as bad as I remembered, but I still had those moments where I was kind of just like, okay, this is boring. Okay, this is boring. Well, this is stupid. I didn't like this very much. But overall, I think it's overhated. To be honest, it's not nearly as bad as what I remembered, but a lot of people didn't like this Negan character, man. They really didn't. They're like, this guy's just coming in, taking over, and they were thinking all our characters are weak and they're just kind of like rolling over for these saviors, you know what I mean? They're just letting them do whatever they want and they're not fighting back, and it just wasn't the vibe of The Walking Dead that everyone had known, right? And I think honestly it kind of was very detrimental to The Walking Dead's future success, I think. it definitely played a role in the decline of ratings and interest for sure. And you kind of started to see the decline even on YouTube videos. You know, there was a big drop off after season 7. And I think you can definitely attribute that to Glenn dying and Negan coming in and having such a big role. I think, like, if they would have focused more on our group and less Negan, I think season 7 would have done a lot better. But you can definitely see in season 7 there was a big focus on Negan, and obviously seeing how it all played out, it makes a lot of sense, right? Negan became this really big character. Now he's in Dead City, and I'm honestly glad they didn't kill Negan because in season 10, Negan was like my favorite character. Negan was so good in season 10, especially in that episode. What's that episode called? I'm trying to remember. I'm having a brain fart. I know the episode. It's season 10, episode 22. It's Here's Negan. That's it. That episode was absolutely fantastic, man. That was just an all-time great Walking Dead episode. I mean, it really is. The connection he had with his wife in there. Oh, Here's Negan might be top 5. It might be top 5 all time for me. It's an emotional masterpiece of an episode. And it came out during the COVID time, and there was just this kind of like dead time in The Walking Dead. You know what I mean? It was really boring and there wasn't a lot going on, and I don't know, man. That was awesome. Here's Negan was great. But to give you guys my closing thoughts on Glenn's death and Negan and everything, overall, I do think Glenn's death was bad for The Walking Dead. I really do. I truly do, man. I really think Glenn should have lived at least close to the end, right? Um, I don't know, man. I don't like that Glenn had to die. I think Glenn was the glue of The Walking Dead. I really do, man. For all these characters, I think he was so important and he was just so emotional and he was so vulnerable with everybody. You know what I mean? He was just always there. He was there for everybody. And like I said, in the later seasons, we didn't really have characters like Glenn. I can't really think off the top of my head who was like Glenn in that aspect, right? Who was just there for people and just the heart and soul of the show. I really think Glenn was a big part of the heart and soul of The Walking Dead. And once he left, a lot of people left with him. And that showed in the ratings, it showed in the decline of interest. And in the end, killing Glenn was a huge mistake, man. It really was. I think even a bigger mistake than killing Carl, really. Honestly, by far. I never really liked Carl that much anyway. He was all right, but killing Glenn, man, huge mistake. Glenn was just such a better character than Carl. I think people got mad about Carl dying when they thought about the future of The Walking Dead and future TV shows and all that stuff, but Glenn was a massive character death, and it was really bad for the show. My opinion, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I always love hearing from you guys. It's really interesting to just have these fun, interesting, throwback, nostalgic type videos. It's really interesting, and I don't really make videos like this too much because we're kind of just living in the past whenever I do this, but it is really fun to just go back and kind of relive what happened, even though it's sad, bro, because, Glenn dying was really sad. It honestly really affected me, even in real life. I was like, wait, I need to, recover from last night. I'm not going outside today at all. I'm just going to chill on the couch and cry. But, it was heartbreaking, bro. It was sad. And, yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think about Glenn? Do you think his death really helped The Walking Dead go downhill? Do you think that was Negan? What do you think it was? What do you think kind of started that Walking Dead decline? Maybe I think it was a fair combination, personally. I think it was Glenn dying and then Negan coming in. And also, like I said earlier in the video, Negan getting that big spotlight, tons of, time on screen. I think we're like, dude, this guy just killed Glenn. I don't want to see this guy all the time. And, we were getting a lot of Negan in season 7, and it just is what it is, man. So, yeah, love you guys. Thank you guys so much for the love and the support. Don't forget, drop a like, subscribe. It really helps the channel grow so much more than you think. Helps the video get seen and everything. It's a massive thing that you guys can do to help me grow. So thank you so much for the love and the support. I will see you guys in the next one. Make sure you stay safe out there in the crazy world, man. Love you guys. Peace out.